It was fun. I mean, those days were fantastic. I don't think they'll ever happen again, not for me.
Aren't they happening right now at any other clubs?
Well, there's I don't know, maybe this will be the first time in history that the authorities and the powers that be will, stamp out a fad by repression. But I think it just makes it stronger.
Has punk been stamped out by...
Well, they're trying. I don't think there's any punk clubs left.
Isn't that an indication that punk rock is dying? That it was just a fad that just passed?
I don't see how anything so heavy could just die out that quick. I just think we'll see more repercussions, and I think it's festering under, bubbling under, as they say.
There's a big concentration of punk in Huntington Beach.
Because there's a concentration of people. And it's any suburb's a pretty frustrating place to be. You can't have an effect on anything.
But it seems
I imagine that's it.
Why Huntington? Why not?
The main reason for the Huntington thing, I mean, I'm not from Huntington, so I really don't have any, first-hand knowledge of the whole thing.
But it seems to be a...
But it's, in the way it's spread out of L.A., as far as you want to talk about punk rock, you started you had Iggy Pop and the Stooges in Detroit, in that, MC5 Stooges in Detroit. Then you had the New York thing, which assimilated some of that, and then they had the Ramones and all that. And then those people went to England, they assimilated it, and then the English thing got replanted over here.
Well, maybe the English just made us open our eyes, see that things weren't really right to them. We looked around here, and obviously things aren't right. At least in my opinion. Probably 9 out of 10 of all punk's opinions.
How did you end up a punk rocker?
I didn't like being like everybody else.
You didn't want to be a hippie?
No. Different way out. Yeah.
I want to be myself, be a person I want to be every day. I'm not like everybody else on the street.
What do you think about the explosion, the fact that everybody's becoming a punk rocker?
It's ridiculous.
I think it's really neat because it's just people doing what they want to do.
How come you didn't become a hippie like other people?
I don't know. I guess I wasn't crazy.
I like the attitude, I had the same attitude when I was 18, 15.
What is that attitude?
Fuck you. I'll do what I want.
Over there.
Hey, over here.
Oh, Father, you're going home?
Yeah, goodbye.
He's going home, oh no.
What?
Go ahead, say something.
Our main premise is to get people to hate us.
Now
Why?
we're getting into the real nitty-gritty.
Why do you want people to hate you?
Because everybody else wants people to like them.
He went to get it.
Uh-oh. No, I won't be.
You know, and, fuck them, man. You know, who wants to be liked?
Ow!
Do you think all punks are assholes?
Well, no, but they try to be pretty much. I don't think they're really deep down, assholes. I just think they're rebelling, but I don't think they know what they're rebelling against. I just think it's the nature of youth to rebel.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, we're being taken advantage here of
Well, why do you sound like shit on stage?
because we want to. That's part of, don't you know art, asshole?
You
That's a fucking problem. I mean, yeah, I know you think you're...
art?
It's what we're
He's a
trying
friend of
not to
mine, man.
Do you love...
The hippies, I don't think really believed in love that much, and I don't think the punks believe in hate that much. It's just something, I think it's shock value, and it's something like saying, hey, look at us, look at me, I'm different, I'm something new, and what are you gonna do about it?
If everybody painted a face, then it wouldn't be anything different. Right. So, this is something...
It's like, I'm here to bum lives. I don't care. Why do they have the swastikas and the blood and the violence? Are they serious about it, or is it just kind of...
Just to blow people's minds, just to make people think, oh my God, what's going on with this world, You gotta remember Socrates said that the world was going to hell, or the younger generation was going to hell, and they weren't worth a damn, and he didn't have much hope for the future because the kids weren't worth a shit. And essentially, that's what they're saying today.
What Jews saw you guys, your Nazi insignias, they wouldn't like that either.
You said what? Turn around. Huh? I'm a commie. I'm a commie. I work for the Communist Workers' Party. I sell magazines for 50 cents.
The majority of people think that punk rockers roll around in glass, cut themselves up, and are into pain and suffering. And, if anybody knows what's going on about punk rock, it's you. Do you think...
I do.
Well, you have a good vantage point.
Well, when I play, I don't really look, to be honest, but...
But they're certainly not out there to get hurt.
No one goes out to get hurt. I mean, I don't. I don't think anybody really does.
The media and the general public has any idea what punk is really all about?
Not an idea, not a clue. That's what's so fun about it. I think the punks are putting on the media, and the media are buying it. And that's why they're so up in arms, and they're going, we got to stop it. But they have no idea what's going on. And all the people that have interviewed me, and they have never printed what I say. I mean, I tell them what I think is going on, and I certainly have a firsthand, experience. And they turn right around and print the same old shit about, the punks roll around in glass and spit on each other, which...
Have you ever seen people roll around in glass?
I've seen a guy take a bite off a glass bottle. I did see that in Philadelphia. This guy was standing at the edge of the stage and chewing up a bottle and spitting out the glass with blood and stuff. And he was all drunk, and kill. And he was going for it.
It's just pretty fun to be into something that people don't like. People are trying to get rid of something that we can do. It's our right to do what we want to do in this country. And it's a battle. It's kind of like punk's not a music, it's more like a sport.
You ever jumped off the stage?
Yeah, always. Backflips are great. Sometimes the boots, like, you gotta be ready, you know, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I think that it's just the overall influence of physical contact. I think that's a necessary element of punk rock, and it's really easy to get involved in it because all of a sudden you're out there banging with someone, and it feels natural almost, you know? It's just fun.
Did you get hurt?
Sometimes, not really. You don't break bones or anything. You get bruises and swollen parts of your body, but it's nothing really that big. You know, it's like a chaotic, really drunk high school dance, you know? Can you remember, you know what it was like.
You're standing there on the side, and all of a sudden, action starts behind you. And you're standing in the same place, but you're in the middle of the floor now, you know? So it's either slam out of there, stay slamming in there, or get knocked down, you know? So you have to start
Slam
dancing.
your way out, right?
You gotta slam your way out. And that's cool, that's fun.
What about the dancing? Didn't the police try and outlaw dancing in the club?
Well, they did. They did outlaw dancing at the Cuckoo's Nest, and that's the funny thing is it's really not dancing. It's more like touch football, you know. But it's a lot of fun.
But you know, to call it violence, where you know somebody's getting killed or something, is pretty ludicrous. I mean, it stems from somebody on the outside trying to sensationalize it or trying to simplify it. because a year later, I started walking down the street and people would threaten me. And I had face-offs and fights and things like that in the street. And yeah, because people realized what it was connected with. And it was getting big enough to be a threat. Before it was a threat, someone could laugh it off. When it became something that looked like it was an actual replacement for what other people were doing, that what other people were doing was lamer, and that it was basically tired and old, then those people respond in like with, it's like they put a culture tariff on it. They try to get rid of it. You know, they go, okay, this is, you know, well, I can't assimilate into this, so let's stop it. I've invested years in my Led Zeppelin cool, so let's, you know, keep Led Zeppelin the happening cool so I can still get laid, you know, and I can still be cool, because when it goes out, I won't be cool anymore.
And all it is history repeating itself, and it's too bad that people can't retain any or gain any wisdom and realize that, oh, it's just another thing. But people get all upset, you know, and they think, oh, we got to stop it now.
Why do you think there was so much police attention focused on the Cuckoo's Nest?
Well, I think pretty much the police, I don't know if they feel threatened by the punks or what, but a lot of it had to do with, well, there was this place next door where all these suburban cowboys went all the time and hung out. There were, you know, suburban cowboys, you know. They used to hang out there and they used to hate the punks, and the police hated the punks enough as it was. So then that fight between the cowboys and the punks like made the police even hate the situation even that much more.
I want to be a cowboy. I'm going to be a cowboy. I'm born to be a cowboy.
No, it's the Yokies. The other bars. The other kind of people, yeah, the other people.
Yeah, what do they think of the punks?
They don't like them.
They don't?
No, they don't like punks.
What do they do?
Gawk at them, call them names, get into fisticuffs with them.
They generally started?
Yeah. Yeah, they generally start a lot of the problems.
Oh, yeah? Dave, what was your most fun, violent trip?
The gang fight between the bouncers here and Zuby.
Oh, yeah? That was last week, right?
2 weeks ago at T.S.O.L.
Oh, yeah? What do you think of the Zuby people?
Suck.
It's okay by me. Every time I try to walk by there, the cowboys try to butt fuck me there.
They told us that fucking these are shit kickers and we're not allowed to wear them.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know how to kick shit.
Yeah, we don't know how to kick shit. Don't know how to eat it either, but they suck a lot of it over there.
I know, I'm beginning to hate them as much as you guys.
Invite them over to watch this movie. All you folks at Zuby's can fuck off, man.
We start fights with them punks at the Cuckoo's Nest. Those damn punks are crazy, though. And meaner than a bull in a rodeo.
It was uncalled for, in my opinion. I don't think they should have done it. I mean, punks aren't doing anything that bad. And the cowboys, not to mention the cowboys at Zuby's, hating the punks, antagonizing them and calling them names for no reason and stuff. Of course, the punks would retaliate, you know, like anybody would if you said, you know, you're ugly, I hate your guts. Somebody would say, you know, no, I'm not, and like wonder why they did it, you know.
Oh, yeah, they used to come around and be tough, and the punks would beat them up. You know, it's like one time we had 6 guys in football helmets and baseball bats march up to the Cuckoo's Nest. They were going to kick some punk ass, and the punks saw them and just went, oh, boy, and about 80 punks took out after these 6 people, and they dropped their bats and hauled ass. It was great. And the cops were right there, of course.
This is our last show since we're all going to get killed by LA punks on Tuesday.
okay for them too.
I mean, they shouldn't start fights and stuff, just having a fun time. Why go to clubs and have fights for no reason? Beating one guy up because he has longer hair or something. It's like Jack at T.S.O.L, he has long hair, he doesn't start fights with anybody. He's a hippie, and down in his heart he is. It's like Ron and Todd. Todd loves Judas Priest, he's a hippie.
I know, he told me he was going to go see him, I couldn't believe it.
He's going to see Rush too. Look at his band. T.S.O.L is a rock and roll band. They're not no punks. They're out to make money. They don't even like punk rock. There's no such thing as punk.
What do you think of hippies?
Well, back to the Zibbies people, they suck. Hippies in general aren't that bad. You know, as long as they don't hassle you, you know, can relate with some, but most of them who are just down on the scene, down on your looks.
Oh, wow. Well, it happened, I'd say about 3 or 4 months ago when this big cowboy guy.
How big was he?
He's about 6'8". He got jumped by a bunch of punk rockers, so he said. And so he went back to his car, got a 9mm pistol, automatic pistol, came back and wanted to shoot a few punk rockers.
And you were going to draw on him, right?
Well, when he went down for the gun.
A draw. I mean, you guys were going to draw on each other. It was like a Western shootout.
Well, he went down for the gun, and I just pulled my gun out and aimed it at him, and told him if he didn't get out of here and get away from his ankle, that was going to be the last time he ever walked.
And I guess the police conspired. I guess maybe they did it themselves. They like dressed their officers up as cowboys, and they like tried to trap punks into like trusting them by the cowboy cops handing them beers. Want a beer? Be my friend. And then like if they pull out something, if they're under 21 or they have a joint or something, they bust them. Just like that.
So what do you think of the cops?
They're okay guys, but they just take it to a limit, a little too far. They're just jerks.
They had the squeeze on that place, just because they just thought it was, I don't know what they thought, but they sure put the heat on me. They arrested me for walking across the street and took me down to jail that night.
So nothing's
Cops
really
are okay,
changed.
One of my best friends is a cop in Long Beach Police Department.
Oh, really?
It's just cops are different people, just like you and me.
You can't trust them.
Different opinions, yeah.
I wouldn't trust your best friend anymore.
They'll blow your head off.
They tried to get rid of me. Actually, that's why I sort of turned radical. I spent most of my time trying to placate them and make them happy and keep it under control. But once they tried to get rid of me, then I kind of let it go wild. And I really just wanted to shove punk rock right up their ass.
One time, Pat, this guy we know, Pat Brown, he was just in his car driving through the parking lot. This is like when the police were like catching you for any small thing that was going on. And Pat was just cruising and he had a beer. He was just drinking a beer, looking for a parking place, whatever he was doing. And all of a sudden this cowboy guy dressed as a cowboy, undercover police who I've been, I've had the pleasure of, seeing, and they've like searched me off the wall. They even offer us beers and stuff, try to be our friends before they try to find out what we're doing wrong. One of them, like, Pat was driving just around, and like he stopped, Pat stopped, and this like cowboy like looking dude, Pat was ready to have the guy say, "You're a punk, I hate you," and Pat would have killed him, But he just like, he goes, "I'm a policeman," just like that, and then Pat just like, he like reached in his car, and like, I guess he tried to turn off the car, or tried to, I don't know, choke him, or who knows what the cop was gonna do to him, but like Pat just like punched, if you're in a car, you'd, jet too.
Tried to run the cops down, Pat Brown, ran him into the ground, Pat Brown. Tried to run the cops down, Pat Brown, ran him into the ground. Patrick Edward Brown tried to run the cops down, Patrick Edward Brown tried to run the motherfucking cops into the ground. Well, Pat Brown.
So the guy pulls out his piece, the cop pulls out his piece and starts firing in Pat's car, like put 3 slugs like right up by the windshield into its like the front fender of his car. It was intense. I think that was like one of the things that like closed down the club.
I heard some stories about you too, but you don't want to go into that.
I'm a nice person.
Oh, everybody freaked. The cops said there's a shooting, and everybody was like, the riot squad came out, And
there's, I mean, they were ready to like literally take on the entire audience. They had 25 cars there, and they were all lined up outside, in full force, and they were like, they had the 2 cops in 2 formations outside so that they could come into the parking lot without being outflanked, right? And put a pincher on the audience that was, as they would come out of the club, right? And the people who were still in the parking lot. And they were ready to do that. They were ready to close the thing down and basically, physically take on the entire audience.
We had a Supreme Court order. The Supreme Court ordered the Costa Mesa police to leave me alone. See what they did? They arrested everybody before they got to my place. Say, hey, we're not bound. Zuby'd fill up the parking lots. They'd have to park on the surface streets. And they'd arrest them before they got in my parking lot. And that's when I finally closed. I went, fuck, They arrest 90 kids. I had 90 kids paid, and they arrested 90.
Just because they didn't want the club to happen. They don't like punk rock. They don't want kids to do what they're doing for some reason. I mean, America, land of the relatively freer. I mean, what is this?
this is all. I'm not free. Paycheck to paycheck, living for what? Every night I get up to the sun. My reaction will take no more. It won't work. No more. I do what I had when I grew up. I know now that I'm doing sucked. Now I'm afraid to say lies. But okay, I'm gonna die. My reaction will take no more. It won't work. No more. Control for who for what? I don't know my nigga got fucked. Reaction back to the mix to that ass. I need to live, I live now. My reaction will take no more.
The Costa Mesa City Council tonight voted to close down the Cuckoo's Nest Rock Club, the only punk rock club in town. Ross Becker has the story.
The city council had to decide if the stories of bottle throwing, fighting, vandalism, and underage drinking at the Cuckoo's Nest are true. Pete Williams, the owner of the Cuckoo's Nest, told the council his club is being harassed, and he's tried to cooperate with the police and the club's neighbors, but he said there seems to be another reason for what he calls an assault on the social phenomenon. Club employees and patrons told the same story. The police and some of the club neighbors think the problem is not punk rock, but the punk rockers, the ones who they say are causing trouble.
People being extremely loud. What I mean by loud is just out really just screaming, yelling. Definitely would attract your attention if you're anywhere in the area. Broken beer bottles all over the place.
The council listened. They listened for more than 2 hours. Then they had to decide. Councilman Don Hall said the problem will not go away, and Councilman Ed McFarland told the overflow crowd, "Don't blame us. We didn't create the problem at the Cuckoo's Nest." The young people left before the vote. It was obvious they lost.
Hey, we gotta hear some noise.
Clap!